These are desperate times.
We only have enough blood to sustain our population till the end of the month.
We're talking about the extinction of the human race.
If a blood substitute is not found immediately, this will happen to all of us.
This substitute would replace our need for a human supply. There will always be those who are willing to pay extra for the real thing.
Heyo, I'm Kat.
And I'm a Katu Kabidi. And I'm Papa Dragon. Yeah, I don't know why he is Papa Dragon, but we're doing Daybreakers, the Ethan Hawke and William Dafoe vampire movie. I'm Jay, by the way.
Most of the world has turned into vampires. There's very few humans left, and they have 1 month's supply left of blood. There's these characters called the subsiders, which are vampires that have been starved for far too long. They haven't had enough blood, so they start to turn into these bat-like creatures, and they get all deformed, and they lose their hair. Ethan Hawke, his company, and these humans, and they're all basically trying to find a cure or find a blood substitute.
They're trying to make a fake blood, and it's not going so well. As for the blood substitute storyline, it's speaking on
our need for oil.
It's speaking on oil. In the Matrix, we're used for power, obviously, for the robots. In this, for the race to continue, they need the humans' blood. So they have these huge columns where humans are installed, just like a package of blood, and it sucks the blood out. It's essentially a blood farm.
Which also was in Blade Trinity. Remember they had the walls of the humans? Very similar, just a little bit different structure.
I have the same setup in my vineyard.
So the story is Ethan Hawke is a vampire. He was unwillingly turned into one by his brother, who assumed that by turning him into one would save his life.
And Ethan Hawke, the main character, he's like a vegan. He does not want any human blood.
He feels bad for the humans. He
Yeah.
wishes he was human.
Ethan Hawke runs into the humans in a chance encounter. The middle of nighttime, he's actually turning into one of the subsiders, because remember, he doesn't drink the blood.
And his ear starts to get a little bit elongated on the tip.
So he's touching that and driving and realizes, oh shit, and he crashes into another car, happens to be full of humans. The humans now want him to come along and meet basically Elvis, who's William Dafoe's character, who was cured by the sun by mistake. Ethan Hawke decides to go with them, and this is where the story, I loved it. This is when the story really picked up for me, and then you clearly saw the two sides, and you had the vampires versus the humans.
Issues come up with being stuck in a body forever, like being stuck in a child's body. Just like an interview with a vampire. The same thing that little girl went through is the same thing other characters in this movie are going through.
The idea of being bit and being stuck in that body, a lot of the vampires at this point, they have no blood and they have nowhere to go. So they're turning into subsiders. That's one subplot in the story. But the other subplot is humanity is no more.
Now, Willem Dafoe's character, I like Willem Dafoe. I thought he was awesome in Boondock Saints. But I didn't like him at all in this movie. He was like this weird stereotype.
We're the folks with the crossbows.
It's not at him as an actor doing those lines. I just thought it was terrible. And I really like William Dafoe.
And I disagree with both of them. I think it was spectacular. I think he needed to be exactly what he needed to be. Yes, some of it is ridiculous, but this is horror we're talking about, where he's not going for an Oscar here.
He's like this hickey stereotype, blah blah blah.
Well,
who's like, always love a good barbecue. Like, really? That's the best line they could come up with for this? Come on.
I know, but
I know what you're saying, but it'd be nice for once for a horror movie to have good acting in it. And some of the best ones have good acting in it. Ethan Hawke is good, but he's good in everything. To me, it just seemed like he was walking around looking very tired. So there's a lot of cool, interesting ideas put into this movie, like the new way to cure a vampire, the cars that have like the shades on
the
them so they can
vampire
drive.
world is awesome.
The subwalk, there's a subway that the vampires can walk underground during the day. In fact, I found the subsiders the most interesting part of the whole movie. And I thought the scariest parts was involving them. Like when that subsider came in to Ethan Hawke's apartment, I was scary as hell. And I wanted
and he's
more.
just suddenly revealed, like he just walks out of the shadows suddenly.
I wanted more of those moments, and when they chained them all up and they dragged them out to the sunlight to kill them because they were exterminating all of them basically. I found that story more interesting than the primary story, which was a huge problem for me. During the second act, somewhere along the line, I just lost interest. When William Dafoe's character Elvis shows up, I'm like, yeah, he's kind of funny, but like I don't care anymore.
I'm on the total opposite side of the spectrum here. I thought the movie started out strong and it went all the way through strong. Just because he has a southern accent in the movie doesn't mean it's bad acting. I mean, maybe that's how southern people talk. You ever thought about that? He definitely has moments where it wasn't the best, but I wouldn't say he brings the movie down. I think in total, the movie really tells a different vampire story than you've ever seen before. What movie have you seen where they've cured vampires and done it in an amazing way? We're not going to tell you, but You need to see that.
And the details in the movie about the vampire world are amazing. Before sunset comes, there's a warning that says, just a friendly reminder that sunset is in an hour. All the blinds on all the buildings and all the houses to protect them from the sunlight. The army also has these suits so they can walk in the sun. The cars, they have cameras on the back and front so you can see what's happening even in the sun.
The art direction of the film looks a lot like Gattaca and Blade Runner, which is really cool. They're using a lot of blue gels on a lot of the scenes in the movie, so it has this cool look to it.
15 years from now, people will be looking back and saying Daybreakers was a cult classic.
I think in 2 weeks from now, people are going to forget about this movie.
I think the most irritating thing in this movie was the goddamn bat scares. I don't want to be suddenly like those cheap scares where they just go ugh, and make a loud noise or have something hit the screen. I hate those. That's so
The
cheap.
vampire puking, though, was kind of funny.
A different way to get to the next scene, but like
It was a bad choice.
Yeah, and like
bad
the
choice.
last
That was their
the
opinion.
last 10 seconds, I hated that part, and then they're friggin' bad again. I was like, really?
So she thinks at the end of the movie, some spectacular way, 3 characters are gonna solve the whole
No,
problem.
no, no, no. I'm not looking for it to solve the whole
This
problem.
show here.
I just
Drive.
would have liked a different shot.
Oh, different shot, because they drive into the sunset.
I didn't like it. I would have liked something else. Doesn't need to be, oh, we've solved everything, ha ha ha, like 2012. But I would like something that wraps it up just a little bit more.
It's over there.
I'm gonna
somewhere.
punch you in your face. Drop
The
it.
sun's over there and they're driving towards it. David,
What would you
thanks.
give the movie out of 10?
I give this movie an 8.5. I think it's one of the best underrated vampire movies of all time.
And you, Mike?
I give it a 6.5. I didn't enjoy it as much as Jason did.
And I would give it an 8. I enjoyed it. I thought the acting was pretty good, other than Willem. It was very entertaining. I love to see all the new technologies and whatnot that they came up with. I found it very inventive, and I love the story.
So in closing, I personally think this is going to be a cult classic. You?
I think it's going to be a cult shit. We agree to disagree for once. Very
Thank you,
good, sir. Very
Thanks.
good. Very good. You did too. You did good.
You did good.
You did good.
Look at this girl. Let's do it again.
I hate you.